Hello again. 1977 was the year when the Crucible Theatre in Sheffield first hosted the World Snooker Championship. Now, if you fast forward 8 years from that date to 1984, you'd find that by that point, Steve Davis was the only player to have won the title in Sheffield twice. He'd done so in 1981 and 1983. But at that point, neither he nor anybody else, for that matter, had ever managed to successfully defend the title at the Crucible, to win it back-to-back. And here he was in 1984, attempting to do just that. In his way was a cocky Londoner, 22-year-old whirlwind, Jimmy White, appearing in his first Crucible final and attempting to add that title to the Masters crown that he'd won a few short months ago in London.
The 84 final was, I was in a different frame of mind, or that World Championship, I was in a different frame of mind. I'd regained my championship the previous year, so now I was a multiple winner of the World Championship, and I'd started to mature as a player, felt more comfortable at the match table than I had done even in 81, and I was starting to look like I was the dominant force completely within the game. So I had an air of superiority around me walking into that arena. It was starting to become my office.
As expected, Steve began strongly. He had been in devastating form that season after all. He'd won 6 trophies. He took the first frame and he had a wee bit of a slice of luck at the top of the second.
Steve takes no notice. They all count.
Six. Seven. $12.
Not only was the fluke very disappointing for Jimmy, but he must be wondering, with 6 or 7 loose reds now, whether he'll be able to win this frame when Steve's finished here.
13. $20. $21. $26. $27. $34. 35. 42. 43.
Appears to have finished a little straight on this black here. Won't have an opportunity, I feel, to break the cluster of reds, but would have to play for one of the two loose ones.
50.
He started the first frame with a break of 44. This time it's 50 so far. That's the hand of our referee, Jim Thorpe.
$50 to Steve Davis. Touching ball.
That's a very good shot from Jimmy there. He's forced Steve into opening the 5 reds behind the pink because the brown is obscuring the 2 loose reds. With Jimmy trailing by 55 points, he'll obviously be very pleased with that shot.
And some more damage there. It was a very difficult shot that Jimmy had there, tucked underneath that side cushion. Was forced really to have a go at it, but I'm afraid he's done a lot of damage.
One.
He wasn't saying a little prayer.
Five. Six.
This black will mean that Jimmy White will need a snooker.
Must tell, I feel that Steve didn't play to kiss the black then, he played to go around the
13.
back of the black and got rather a nice kiss to keep the break going.
14. $21. 22. $29. $29 to Steve Davis.
Yes, 26-year-old Steve Davis forged 2 frames in front. The younger man, Jimmy, didn't really seem to have settled down by this point. He had a chance though, frame 3.
Well, the first red from Jimmy there was quite an amazing shot. Steve had been a little bit fortunate, even though he had played a foul shot, not to leave Jimmy a better opportunity. But now seems to have the balls split very nicely.
$15. $16.
Now all the spots are occupied, so the green will have to go just near to that cue ball, as near to its own spot as possible.
19.
In fact, I think it is on its spot.
Yes, Jimmy didn't play too good a shot on the green, but would be pleased that he'd be able to hit the cue ball where he wanted. And now he's got back into
23.
prime position.
24. $31. 32. $39. $40. $47. $47 to Jimmy White.
Jimmy White, I feel, still not completely settled down. He's a 47 break there, but he should have been more.
One. $8. 9.
Well, the main saving grace for Jimmy here will be the red on the left-hand side cushion. Steve will have to manipulate the white ball into such a way to be able to move that at some time to win this frame in one visit.
14. $15. 22. 23. 28. 29. 36.
Steve has a choice here. Could, if he wished, play to move the red out now. Well, he didn't get the white quite where he played, but he's certainly got the red out. If he decides to play the black, it's going to be a very, very difficult shot.
$37 to Steve Davis.
$14 points in it then, and 43 points left on the table.
That was a lovely shot from Jimmy, knowing that if he missed the black he could have lost the frame. He played the shot perfect strength.
9.
And the blue means that Steve requires a snooker this time. But Jimmy has snookered
40.
himself. 28 points in it, 27 points on the table.
Quiet, please.
Working it all out in his mind.
Two.
Jimmy mustn't miss this. Steve has put the green very near that top pocket.
Jimmy purposely played the white ball hard there just in case he did miss it.
Steve Davis.
But he still left Steve an easy opportunity on the green, I feel.
Quiet, please.
Just wants the 5 balls now to win the frame. Jimmy appears to be throwing caution to the winds at the moment.
Three. 7.
It's
12.
so pleasing to pinch a frame, but demoralizing if you're the opponent. Jimmy White then paying for his mistakes, and Steve Davis makes it 3 in a row.
Playing Jimmy in the final, even though Jimmy was a younger player, which is always harder to play against, he was still a player that I'd not really struggled against in the past. So everybody expected me to overcome a player who was more of a throw caution to the wind, cavalier style, that I would pick him off and I would do a clinical job on him.
The difference now 18 points.
Yes, and the worst thing about that shot, Ted, is he's brought the blue out into play. Steve was needing every ball, and now makes it a little bit more easy for him, should he get the opportunity.
Can see half a ball. This could be the chance that Jimmy has been looking for. He's 18 points in front. Well, how extraordinary. Hasn't got that beautiful flowing cue action right yet.
If there's any consolation at all, I feel it's that the green looks relatively straight. Steve would need to really get into this cue ball to get on the brown.
Three.
Seems to have acquired the perfect angle to play round the table and finish onto the blue. Would probably be playing the white round 3 cushions.
Seven.
Hasn't got it quite right.
Oh, these are the shots, Ted, that either win frames or lose them, should he care to take it on. He's not even attempted the pot. Probably a very wise decision in that moment.
Davis.
A terrific roar then for Jimmy White as he takes our 4th frame, and the two players leave the arena for the interval. Steve Davis leading 3 frames to 1.
The rest of the session was quite simply one-way traffic for Davis. 7-1 ahead. That is quite a demoralising margin. Jimmy was trying hard to summon any kind of resistance as we headed now into frame 9.
Jimmy White, being away from the table for so long, was quite eager to take that opportunity. Didn't appear as though the ball kicked at all, but was certainly some distance away from the pot.
One. Five. Six. Eleven. Twelve. 19. 20. 27. 28. 35. 36.
'Davis attempting there to move one of the reds from the side
43.
cushion.
44. 44 to Steve Davis.
And that's enough for Steve Davis to go 7 frames ahead. He leads by 8 frames to 1.
One. 6. 7.
'It's a good shot from Jimmy immediately, potting the black ball off the top cushion and bringing it back into play.
14. 15. 22. 23.
1
29. 30. 37. 38.
'Well, he's brought the
45.
pink ball free now, disturbing the red. It was nestling on it, but this is not an easy pot to the centre.
But this is more like the Jimmy White we hope to see in this final. He's very disappointed with that
53.
one. With the red over the pocket, it was the ideal opportunity to break into the pack with the insurance of the red which was already there. Still going, but not perfect position.
Well, there's tremendous cue power there from Jimmy White.
61.
White ball flying around the angles, but not quite in the right direction to get a break on the remaining cluster of reds.
So, what's more like it? And all neutrals in the snooker world will be glad to see that 61 break by Jimmy White.
One. Eight. 9. 16. 17. 24. 25. 32. 33. 40. 41.
Well, he's a long way behind in this match as Jimmy White at this present stage, but when he starts playing in this kind of form,
48.
it makes you think that he could perhaps reel 4 or 5 frames off on the trot and be right back in the match.
56. 58. 61. 70.
9.5 minutes of genius. Breaks of 61 and 76 give Jimmy White the 10th frame, but still Steve Davis still leads by 8 frames to 2.
That frame was a rare highlight in those early moments for Jimmy White, who'd had problems with his Q-tip throughout. He finished 12-4 behind, and quite frankly, things really didn't look that good for him.
The late Jim Meadowcroft, who was a commentator, I was talking to him, I said, my tip's really hard, and he felt my tip, he said, it's like a rock. So I took my tip off about 10:30 at night, and I played for an hour. But for me, all about that final was my first final, and having a new tip.
After the first day's play, I think I was 12-4 up, and that is a commanding lead. But then I suffered, as I had done on a couple of occasions, not many, but a couple, the loneliness of the long-distance runner. I looked over my shoulder. And that night's sleep, even though it should have been a wonderful night's sleep, I started to worry that he would come back at me.
Well, that's an event. Completely misjudged safety stroke from the champion. And at his previous visit to the table, he attempted a pot, which would only just go, but he missed that as well.
Even though Jimmy has played a good shot with the rest there, with the red up near the black, it's difficult to get onto the black unless he plays the kiss into the red. Decided to play it short and play the half-ball black.
$16. 13 ball. 17. 24. 25. 32. 33.
Frame winning opportunity now for White. And with the reds wide open, he must take it, otherwise he'd be very vulnerable to a counter punch.
40. 41. $43. $44. $49. $50.
Well, Jimmy spent a long time in the practice room this morning, had a new tip on yesterday. Seems to have got the weight a little bit better today. Last night he was sadly out of touch with the new tip. But this will do his confidence no harm at all.
$55. $56.
And Jimmy will be certainly pleased to know that if he pots this black, it will mean that Steve Davis requires snookers. Every chance of seeing a very big break here.
$63. $64. $70. $71. $77. $78. $85. $86. $92. $94. $97.
And White has really showed his character with this break.
$106.
8 frames down overnight, but no hint of giving in.
112.
A really marvellous clearance of 119 by Jimmy White, and just the start he wanted to this afternoon session. Still well behind though. Steve Davis leads by 12 frames to 5.
One. Six. Seven. Ten. Eleven.
Steve Davis at the table, making his counter-punch to the break of 37, which took Jimmy White
13.
into the lead.
14. $20.
Well, this shot's certainly not as easy as Steve would have liked. It's a very straight red with the rest. We'll probably be trying to screw back for a choice of the pink or blue, or alternatively running through round two cushions for the pink into the middle pocket. He certainly doesn't fancy either shot at the moment.
Foul stroke, 40 Jimmy White.
Well, there wasn't much angle there. Davis was trying to manufacture one. The screw shot was much more difficult with the rest than it would have been with the hand bridge, so he tried to power the cue ball round off two cushions for the pink.
Frame winning shot if he attempts the brown, but it could be frame winning shot if he misses it. That was a truly excellent pot under pressure.
5. 7. 10.
Which means that Davis needs a snooker.
14. To Jimmy White.
So that should certainly assure Jimmy White of the second frame of the afternoon.
And it did. Jimmy, finally, on a roll, or a mini roll at least, and his confidence was surging, more to the point when he took the next as well. 3 frames on the spin to trail 7 frames to 12. And he had Davis in trouble in frame 20 as well.
Foul stroke. 4 to Jimmy White.
Well, even though Jimmy has left a pot here, it does help with him being left-handed. I'm sure he'll be going for this, playing to get onto the blue. Yes, I'm sure Steve will be very pleased to see that.
Yes, I think White can count himself a little unlucky that he wasn't left a slightly easier red than that. Davis went full-blooded, attempting to escape from the snooker, but didn't leave anything easy.
1. Eight. 9.
Now, from this kind of position, I would ordinarily expect Davis to clear up, but there's special extra pressure on him to do so now.
$16. 17. 24. 26. 29.
And is this where White's revival is halted?
Steve still requiring
33.
blue, pink and black to make the frame safe.
$38.
Crucial clearance for Davis. He stops his run of 3 losing frames and leads Jimmy White by 13 frames to 7.
Yes, Jimmy really playing with renewed vigour now. Took the next 4 frames in a row to reduce his arrears to only 2, 11 frames to 13 behind. But Back came Davis like the true champion he was, taking 3 of the next 4 to lead 16 frames to 12. It's crampons on again for Jimmy as we rejoin them in frame 29.
Foul stroke, 4 to Jimmy White.
Well, he's a little fortunate that he didn't come another foot down the table, or else he would have left a really nice leave.
One.
And suddenly, 2 shots,
7.
and he's opened the frame right up here with quite a good chance.
Eight.
Well, this is difficult to pink, having to cue over the top of the other balls, making it a very difficult shot. And having so much of the cue over the hand makes it even more difficult. That's a good shot.
$14. $15.
And quite happy to go down for the small fry to try and establish a better position.
$19. $20. $26. $27.
Tried hard to squeeze that round to keep on the pink into the corner. Would like to have been a little straighter on this.
$33. $34.
Well, Jimmy needs one more red after this colour. So just
37.
making absolutely sure now of the red to leave Steve needing a snooker.
$38.
So this red should really put it beyond doubt, and here we are again, going to be in a situation of just 2 frames difference.
45.
And he's stirring the fire again. And it's no bother.
$51. 52.
And what a delightful shot.
$59.
Well, he shouldn't have missed it, but not too important. And Steve nods his head and says, that's enough. Just 2 frames behind.
$20. $21.
Steve Davis withstood the onslaught of young Jimmy White this afternoon.
$21 to Steve Davis.
I think that showed the pressure that Steve is under at the moment. Not the kind of shot that we normally expect Steve to miss.
Back, please.
He's fought so very hard today.
One.
Perfect strength from Jimmy. Now that's split the reds over the table. One mistake now. He hopes that Steve makes it. Just 3 frames in it. And that's a bad one from Steve. He's 22 points in front.
One. Six. Seven.
Well,
14.
Jimmy's played for the plant, I believe. No, red into the centre pocket.
$15. $20. $21.
And he's 1 point behind.
$27. $28. $34. $35. $42.
The break reaches the half century and he's 28 points in front.
50. $58. $59.
Steve wanting a snooker even before the pink.
$65. $66. $70. $72.
A terrific performance then by young Jimmy White. Again he pulls back a frame, and with a break of 72 is now just 2 frames behind at 14.16.
I effectively came out for the second day's play and asked for Jimmy to come back at me. I didn't play as positively as I should have done. If you could just play as if it was the start of the match, it would be better. And Jimmy did come back, great player, and it got back to relatively level.
Foul stroke. 4 to Jimmy White. Quiet, please. One. Six. Seven. $12. $13. $15. $16.
Jimmy having to work very hard for this break, with the pink and black both being tied up.
$21. $22.
And he's those points in front.
$27. $28. $33.
Still holding on to the lead.
34.
Tremendous shot from Jimmy. A lot of power and right hand side in that shot.
39.
And now there's a good chance of clinching this frame here.
40. $45. 46.
So just the black and one more red to leave Steve needing snookers.
$53.
53 points in front, 59 points on the table.
$53 to Jimmy White.
And with that break of 53, incredibly, Jimmy moved within only one frame of Steve Davis's lead, 15-16. Remember, he had been 12 frames to 4 down overnight. A remarkable performance, and the tension levels were creeping ever upwards inside the Crucible as we rejoin them.
And this is a crucial shot Jimmy's taking on here, trying to deep screw back to the baulk end of the table, and a tremendous pot. Certain to leave Steve on had he missed it.
1. $7. 14. 15. 21. 22.
And has Jimmy got the angle now on the pink to come into these two reds near the black?
Puts him 2
28.
points in front. Wants this frame to make the match all square.
Well, he's certainly perfect on the pink to fall behind the red on the left-hand cushion, and being a left-hander, this will suit him. And he won't be too happy with that. Wanted to come away from the cush a little bit.
$35 to Jimmy White. Steve Davis 32, Jimmy White 41.
This is proving to be a very, very hard day for Steve Davis.
And Jimmy just looking to see what angle he wants to leave on the black to come up for the other red.
1. Eight. Eight to Jimmy White. White, please.
And Steve showing the pressure he's under there. Hit that much too thick.
One. Six.
23 points in front.
Six to Jimmy White.
£200,000 total prize money in this year's Embassy World Snooker Championship, and 66,000 resting on this final.
Two. 5.
He wants the 3 balls. Steve Davis then, with just the black to come. Takes the frames to 17-15, and Steve Davis requires 1 frame to retain his world title.
And that could be a crucial red that Steve's just potted. Gives him a chance to get a few points on the board, and of course, wanting 1 frame, that's going to put more pressure still on Jimmy.
8. 9. 16. 17. 24. 25. 30. 31.
And now probably hold this red for the pink.
36.
Won't be taking any chances.
37.
'With almost monotonous magic, Steve
44.
Davis gently works towards his goal.
$45.
And I think there's a plant on just below the pink there.
$50. 51.
So any colour and one more red to leave Jimmy needing snookers.
To Steve Davis.
Terrific round of applause then for Steve. A great effort. Enough balls on the table for Jimmy to take the frame.
Eight. 9. 16. 17. 24.
That's another good shot from Jimmy, moving the red out. Would like it to have gone another inch or two.
$25.
Anxious moments.
31.
And what a brave shot to play at that speed. Knew he'd leave it over the pocket if he missed it. And still needs all the colours to win.
38. 40.
20 points in it.
43. 47.
Wondering what he has to do to get the one frame.
And that's gone just where Jimmy didn't want it. Tight against the cushion, and now he's going to have a job to get the white away from the cushion for the pink.
$52.
A fantastic performance. Wait for the applause.
$17-16 for Davis, and he was one away from becoming the first man ever to successfully defend the world title at the Crucible. But millions upon millions of people were willing Jimmy White to take this one right down to the wire and into a decider.
And once again, Steve catches the blue on the break-off.
Quiet, please. 8. 9. 16. 17. 24. 25.
4 reds and 4 blacks.
32. 32 to Steve Davis. Quiet, please. One. Five. 6.
And after this black, Jimmy can clear this red from the right-hand corner pocket. Make the black possible in both pockets.
13. 14.
And I think here we'll see Jimmy go into the pack of reds, knowing he'll be left on this red into the right-hand corner pocket.
21. 21 to Jimmy White. One. 5. 6. 1.
And that shot there just shows Jimmy's confidence. Had a nice easy pink, but was the wrong side of it, and took a far more difficult brown to come down for this red. And no doubt I would think now try to go into this pack of 4.
To Jimmy White.
8 points in it, 4 reds to go, and Steve right underneath the bulk cushion. And another tremendous shot, this time from Steve under pressure.
Eight. 9.
Has the problem of the red on the cushion there.
$16. 17.
24. Now may elect to screw back here for the pink, because the yellow's only possible in the green pocket.
$25.
17 points in front at the moment.
$25 to Steve Davis.
So this final is still not over.
Quiet, please. Steve Davis 57, Jimmy White 40.
Yes, Steve 17 in front, but all the colours in the centre of the table, so whoever gets this yellow could win.
Quiet, please.
Well, Jimmy had a go, and I think he may pay the penalty. Great shot.
Still needs the green to put himself 22 in front with 22 on the table, and this isn't easy at this stage of the match.
Two to Steve Davis. Quiet, please.
19 points in it, 25 points on the table.
Quiet, please.
Jimmy White walks quietly back to his chair.
Thank you.
He was a long, long way away from that one.
Yes, he got rather impatient there. And this is probably the best chance Steve's going to have. Not an easy green, but should he get it, must finish on the brown.
Jimmy sees the championship now drifting away from him.
Quiet, please. Seven.
A great champion. He is achieving what nobody else has done before. A great performance then by Steve Davis, defending his title and winning it for a second time here at the Crucible Theatre to win the Embassy World Snooker Championship 1984.
I basically just about fell over the line. It was a big shock to the system, and I was very, very relieved to have won the '84 final.
I was so confident that I'd win it next year. I wasn't, or the year after, and where are we now? 2016. I was so confident. I was okay. I was okay losing. You know, if I didn't have changed my tip, I think I'd have won it.
So it was a case of what might have been for Jimmy in the 1984 final, his first Crucible final and the first of many disappointments on that big occasion. As for Steve Davis, well, that win represented a third world title, and he would go on to win it a further 3 more times. In fact, such was his superiority in the 1980s that he appeared in no fewer than 8 of the 10 Crucible finals in the 80s, or the Davis era, as it's now come to be known.